Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Cheux, and in this one I'm going to be using the 352nd Infantry. Val's going to be using the Panzerlehr. We have Rangru and Betz as well, who are going to be using the 21st Panzer and Panzerlehr as well. We're playing against Paul, Swedish Fish, Sir Spankerthot, and Princess Patricia, and they are using the Guards Armoured, 6th Airborne, 3rd Armoured and 3rd Canadian Infantry respectively. So this game comes with a bit of a twist, because if you guys haven't already noticed on the far right side where it shows our income, the income is dramatically increased. I didn't set up this lobby, we joined into it randomly and found out that this was a total destruction game, 60-minute game on the timer with very high income. So as you can see, as a 352nd Infantry, I get 180 requisition points per minute at the start of the game, which is ridiculous. But either way, I'm not complaining. I can get all of my troops down, and yeah, it just gets pretty damn crazy. And this is one reason why I don't really play Total Destruction that often, but I thought it'd be fun to show you guys and to just obviously try it out. I haven't really jumped into it in Steel Division. I know how bad it was in War Game sometimes. I mean, it wasn't so bad in War Game, but just in Steel Division, where there's like almost an Axis bias in like a Total Destruction game, things, you know, are quite easy to predict. Let's just put it that way. So here we are. Yeah, I'm putting down my troops. I'm going to be controlling the left side. Basically pushing for this town and just holding the left side of the town. Then we're going to be having Val on my right. And then Betz on the middle right side. And then Rangru on the far right. So Rangru's going to be trying to hold off there against the Guards Armoured. So Spankerthot with his 3rd Armoured is up against Betz's Panzerlehr. Panzerlehr from Val, going to be holding my right side against the 3rd Canadian. And I'm going to be attacked on the far left by the 6th Airborne. So let's just whack it to my point of view. And we'll see what's going on. I'll just select my troops and show you where they're going. I've got quite a lot of MGs on this one. And all my MGs are going to the buildings that have line of sight down the streets. So for example, there. I could also put one in the tower as well if I wanted to, but I didn't choose to from the offset because I wasn't entirely sure if I'd be able to get it that far up. And the other things on the sides are some Fusiliers. I've got some command infantry in there. I've got a couple of AT guns. A few sets of infantry going over to the left side as well. A couple of units of Ostroop and AT gun and the Fusiliers there. So it started off nice and slow, but as you can imagine, it ramps up very quickly, with us receiving 180 points per minute going to 200. We just push the +1. The difference with destruction is when you get an advantage, you get given more requisition points. So getting that extra 51% over our opponents gave us an extra 20 reinforcement points at the start of the game, which basically meant I got 200 points at the start, which is crazy. So I'm bringing in loads of reinforcements. I'm even bringing in a SPW 204 because I can actually afford it for once. And that's going to help me deal with any half-tracks or armoured vehicles I'm coming up against. Now here I'm having a little bit of trouble dealing with some stormtroopers. Stormtroopers are going to be taking a lot of damage, of course, in the face of an MG42, but they do manage to blow up one of them with their grenades. Fusiliers on the right side being taken on by Leo Major, and the command carriers coming over to give them a hand. On my far left side, the Osttruppen are being attacked by Swedish Fish. So what basically ended up happening was the 3rd Canadian didn't actually go towards Val, they went towards me in the town, and then the 6th Airborne player played on the far left. So I ended up playing against 2 players at the start of the game, which was not ideal to say the least, especially considering both divisions counter my infantry quite heavily. So for example, stormtroopers counter my infantry, and then over on the other side we've got airborne paras, which again just crush Osttruppen. So I'm losing an Osttruppen squad on the left side there. Managed to get this MG42 into a pretty decent position though to take on the Vickers HMG though. And this MG42 on the left side is doing a decent job against rifles as well. So this is all about just bringing up loads of units to counter what they're throwing at me. So I've got a couple of IG-18s on the way. Got a unit of grenadiers coming up. My teammates are going to be reinforcing me. Val and Bet's bringing up their own units. The Puma's moving over to the left side, and Bet's bringing up the Panzerwerfer. But what I really need is some help on this far left side, where I'm literally holding with about 3 units against an entire player. So I'm surprised that they didn't manage to push much faster than that, but I wasn't complaining. With the amount of points that are available, you could really make a severe push through the front line if you wanted to, but fortunately on the right side, as you can see, Rangru's making a massive dent into the opposing line because they have a skew of players over to the left side. The last unit of Osttruppen surrenders on the far left. Fighting continues in the town. IG-18 gets taken out by the snipers there, but Panzerwerfer's going to be coming in on top of those. Stormtroopers destroyed there by the MG42, and the Panzerwerfer's going to take out one of the squads of snipers. And this was nice because Val's Pumas here, they're coming up, they're dealing with some of the fire support vehicles. They can also take care of these snipers easily once they get their machine guns on target. And I'm also bringing up an IG-18 now, so that should be able to do some damage as well. One thing I have to be worried about on the left side is these Tetrarch CSs trying to take me on. Just trying to get this Pack 38 on target. But the 9 HE rounds from those Tetrarchs do a lot of morale damage. Don't manage to get the last shot there onto the Tetrarch CS before I'm forced to fall it back. So all my infantry is coming to this town here. I'm just going to be reinforcing as best I can. Pumas have got line of sight up the road, which is nice. So a lot of the reinforcements that are coming in are being hit very hard. Spitfires are going to be strafing our guys. And over on the left side, a train of infantry is piling towards the 6th Airborne player. So at the moment, I'm basically trading Osttruppen for Stormtroopers. One of my Osttruppen does surrender though to the Wasp. IG-18 gets strafed to death by the Spitfire. But fortunately with Betts' half-tracks on the road, we're able to pin down a lot of these rifles. Val's made a little dent in the middle with his half-track there, and on this right side, Rangru's still pushing up really, really hard. One recon squad there is not going to be enough to stop 2 Panzer 35Ss and the half-tracks with the Panzer Grenadiers. So yeah, Rang just pushing on up, doing a great job there. On this left side, it's a little bit of a cluster. One bomb could really turn this entire fight around, but fortunately, none of the opponents decided to bring in a bomber. So we kind of got away with this blobbing. And my IG-18s on this far left side were in a perfect position to take on the airborne paras and the Vickers HMGs that were helping defend. So at the moment what's going on here is I have a Panzer III leading the charge. We've got 2 Panzerjäger 35Rs following up. And then Val has all his half-tracks moving up here. And Betts has some recon and yeah, some Panzer Grenadiers, sorry, not recon. Val's got the recon for us for the left side. Bringing up a flak filling. You'll find that we were literally bringing up everything we had on our divisions in each phase because we could afford it. I'm currently getting 220 points per minute. We are pushing a plus 40 income from 58% territory. So you can imagine how many more forces we are getting in at the moment. So you can see there the plus 60 and plus 90 in phase C, plus 120 at 75%. You just get so many points to use, it's ridiculous. But the push continues here. Just got to keep pinning down these infantry units where we find them. Then we can make them surrender and carry on. The airborne para is going to surrender on that left side. In the town, we've managed to regain control. MG42 here is doing a fantastic job of being able to shoot all the way down the road. You can see that it's going to be able to target the 6-pounder there. He's also taking on the rifles. Meanwhile, in the town, got hit pretty hard here. The church did get destroyed by the Tetrarch CSs, I believe. But a lot of infantry still hanging about, bringing up a flak filling. That's going to help shoot things up down the road as well. Going to kill that rifle leader for me, nice and quick. And you can see suddenly all of this infantry is pinned down. So over on the left side, Panzer 35 still pushing forwards. Panzer 3 going to be trying to go for the kill onto the 6-pounder as well, but pretty much all of these guns aren't very accurate. This Panzerjäger, for example, 5 accuracy, Panzer 4, 4 accuracy, and they don't have any veterancy unless the Panzer 3 is nearby, so yeah, they're not going to do too much. By the way, thankfully, I had a Panzerjäger move up on the left side of the town to take out a wasp that was harassing me. Panzerwerfer from Betz is firing off again to try and block off some of these reinforcements. And my flak fillings trying to finish off those units. So we've made our push to regain the left side. We've taken the town. And now the majority of the territory is coming from the right side where Rangru's holding the line forwards against Poole. So there is some interesting things to discuss with destruction. Even though we are getting in a lot of units, like 200 requisition points per minute, basically what defines how useful that is how far you have to go to get to the front line. And in this case, the more we push, for example on Rang's side of things, the further he has to bring reinforcements, which can take a really long time. So in this game mode especially, the closer you get to the opposing spawn, the harder it gets because you're waiting for your reinforcements for so long. And we are going to see my Panzerjäger go down there to a Ram 2. Airborne sniper was taken out, which is very nice. Tetrarch is starting to engage Panzer 3, but in comes the 381mm off map onto all of mine, Betz's and Val's infantry, and you can see the horrific amount of damage that did. Another airborne sniper being found there by Val's half track, and that's going to go down. IG-18s were still very much alive at this point, and Panzer 3 obviously survived the artillery strike. The 6-pounder there is just about going to take out my Panzer 3 before the IG-18 can land its next shot. So I've had this 120mm mortar here for quite a lot of the game now. That's been providing some nice artillery onto certain positions. Does quite a lot of damage with its 20 HE power. The town is pretty well secured because a lot of my units aren't even attacking now. Ideally I could have had the flak filling move back to the left a little, would have been able to fire at the airborne paras, rifles and so on. But what I'm doing at the moment is actually bringing up Pak 40s. And that's because I don't really have too much to deal with tanks at the moment on this side. A lot of my initial AT guns, the Pak 38s, got taken out. And you can see there is a distinct lack of AT on my side of things. So here come the Pak 40s all unloading. This Pak 40 is going to be helping out with the rifles pushing across. And the flak filling is going to get on target there as well. Bess is going to be unleashing the rockets of the Panzerwerfer. Truck Little John destroyed over on the far left. And we're seeing this Pack 40 take on the infantry down the road. I really wanted that Pack 40 to engage the Staghound, but I had it just on an attack move order, so it was taking its sweet time to get around to doing so. Furthermore, this Pack 40 was also there to help deal with the Ram too, which could provide some problems for my reinforcements. Now, one thing that happens here, that AT gun that I basically was talking about earlier, that I was hitting with my IG-18, took it down to 2 health. It came back with a vengeance as it kills 2 of my half-tracks that were carrying flak 88s. Yeah, 2. 2 flak 88s killed, 1 shot each by those AT guns, and I lose another set of infantry there as well. Now, the main reason this happened was because I was so busy microing all of these units I had on the right side, so I wasn't really paying attention to the left. And as they came across, they were literally so close to unloading. You can see that one went off road to unload. But yeah, the 6-pounder just in the right place at the right time to take advantage of those flak 88s coming in. So lost a couple of units for free there, which was really unnecessary. But either way, the battle continues, and I think the longer this game goes, the worse it gets for the Allies. Now, the Allies are actually winning in terms of score, 2,195 kills to 1,880 losses. But in general, what's going to happen moving into phases B and C is the Germans get much better equipment. And with the income that we have, we can afford it. And you can see that just by the amount of aircraft we have. Yeah, they're bringing in all their Mosquitoes and their Spitfires and so on. But I have my ME-109 G0s. Val has all his Focke-Wulf 190s. And we also have all of the AA we could ever dream of on both sides. So Val, for example, is being hit very hard there by the Tripolstons. As soon as my ME-109s go over enemy territory, they're going to get hit as well. And I even lose one of them in exchange for a Mosquito there, but I'll definitely take that trade any day. 2 more flak 88s were helping out as well. Have quite a lot of flak 88s on my 352nd, so bringing all of those in where I can, because they can be great fire support units, as well, of course, acting as anti-air, so I'm keeping them back a little bit, just so that they are actually an AT net where I need them to be. So the Pack 40 on the left side hasn't really dealt with the Staghounds and the Rams very well, because I'm currently being smashed to pieces by the 2 Sextons. Over on this left side, Tempest coming down. That's going to be hitting my IG-18 pretty hard, and the Flak-Verling did manage to get on target. So I'm going to bring in 2 Focke-Wulf 190s. Could afford them, so decided to bring them up, and my opponents are going to bring in the 2 Tempests, and they're also going to reinforce with a Spitfire. I think both sides are just being wary of making this engagement happen because of the AA on both sides. Either way, things getting pretty crazy up here, as you can see. Currently the enemy team is reinforcing from this far right land spawn straight into 2 Befehl Panthers and a Königstiger, and as you can imagine, things aren't lasting long on that far right side. On this left side, however, things are a little more contested. But with the 58% territory lead now, and with us being in phase B, we are getting plus 80 on our enemy per minute. That's a lot, and it adds up quickly. A lot more troops on the ground, to the point where I pretty much couldn't buy in any more stuff from each phase. So here comes some of my more elite infantry, just to reinforce. These are some Stoss troop, I believe. And Swedish Fish on this left side is going to surrender. Now the AI is going to take over and start suiciding towards us with everything it's got. Air landing there, for example. Going to be just jumping straight into the face of the Pioneer Filler and the Panzer Grenadiers. Bringing up another IG-18 just to try and hold things back. But yeah, things starting to get pretty damn crazy, especially on this right side, again, where you can see the King Tiger rolling up, headed by 2 Befehl Panthers, and anything that comes down this road as well, that's now being smashed by a Tiger E. There is a lot of stuff waiting here. If I go to the neutral perspective, there is a lot of tanks hiding behind these hedgerows. A lot of tanks hiding behind these hedgerows as well. If you played this correctly and you built a deck that had a lot of availability, you'd be able to bring out pretty much all of those during the game. So with the Guards Armoured, what you can do is get the cards of units on your deck where you have 5 Shermans per card. And I can just imagine that getting absolutely crazy. Because normally what happens when you're building a division is you build around veterancy because you want to get the most bang for your buck. But when you just have unlimited money, sort of what happens is quantity sort of overrides quality in a lot of ways because of the amount of money you have to spend. Either way, ME-109 there coming in, getting tickled by the Tripolston. Focke-Wulf 190s of Val. I'm not going to be engaging the Spitfires because, well, they're running out of fuel and they're going to have to be forced to get out of there. Also, Spitfires aren't really too much of an issue. This ME-109 goes in for a shot onto the Spitfire and flies over the Tripolston again, makes its last mistake there, and I lose my second ME-109. So that was a bit of a mistake on my part, just a bit of micromanagement onto my airplane, causing it to get shot down by the elite Tripolstons. But at least we're forcing their air back as well with my 3 Flak 88s on this left side. That's not the last of it though. Val has another Flak 88 here. We're seeing Befehl Panthers roll up in the centre. Of course, these are 2 Panzer Lehr decks. So 2 Befehl Panthers with a Königstiger again in the middle of the map, and we've got the same on the right side of the map where Rangru is supporting that with his Panzer 35s. And you can see even more units on the way. Marder 1s, Tiger E's, infantry, all sorts coming up through the map to reinforce the front line. And remember, this is playing for total destruction, so we're looking for a total destruction victory if we can find one. And since we've moved into phase C, well, I'm now drawing in 380 points per minute. Bao is bringing in 420 with his Panzer Lehr, and so is Betz. So things are getting pretty damn crazy now. With 420 points per minute, that's a King Tiger a minute, which is crazy. We're also getting the extra 120 points from owning 61% territory in phase C. So they're on top of that. Absolutely crazy. Now it's just a matter of trying to spend those points where I can. So I'm going to decide to spend mine on long range artillery. I have SK-18s rolling up the road here. Got multiple of them. You can see I have 2 here firing away already. What they're trying to do is just sort of pin down units where they can, and also act as counter batteries, so I can try and pin down these sextons at the back, for example, so they don't harass my fire support so much. Over on the left side, Panzer Grenadier is going to be taking out MMG carrier. IG-18's engaging a Kangaroo. So small engagements on this left side. Flak 88's finishing things off nicely. Meanwhile, in the mid and on the right, there's some serious pushing going on with all of this armour arriving on the field. So Fireflies have arrived to challenge the Befell Panthers and the Tiger E's, but as you can see, they come out of spawn and just get instantly panicked. And we're going to be seeing them dropped one by one as the Tiger E's and Befell Panthers get on target. M10 just being forced to fall back there. P38 Lightning going to go down on the right side thanks to Pips there. Buckwolf 190 is engaging these Spitfires. Val's going to get a couple of lovely kills there, as he's going to take those out. And you can see on the right side of the screen the kills starting to rack up from my 6 SK-18s. I actually already have 8 on the field. I edited this deck just as we were going into the game so that I had more of these SK-18s to use, because it's definitely something that I could spend a lot of my points on and still be very useful. So I'm using some of them to like counter battery the Sexton, some of them are targeting specific units like the 17 pounder for example. Over this side, JU-87 comes in. Does get a couple of nice kills, I believe. Buckwolf 190s though are going to be forced back as they take a lot of damage from the AA. And that JU-87 throughout the game was picking up a lot of kills, but I was honestly concentrating on this left side for the majority of the game, where this town was almost constantly contested. I did bring up a Befell Panzer III to provide some command radius and also just help with the support onto the infantry, but I can't really let that get in the way of any of these heavier tanks. Now I do have Jagdpanthers of course, because I am the 352nd Infantry, so I'm waiting for an opportunity to bring those in. But as you can see now, 11,000 points we've racked up in comparison to the Allies' 5,000. It's quite simply the disparity between German armour and Allied armour. There's more infantry coming up to defend the left side as another one of my Flak 88s gets killed off. Betts is still moving forwards, picking off tanks where they can. Any tank that gets in their way is just getting one shot. You can see they're bailed out and then crew killed. They're just instantly rendered useless as soon as they come under fire from multiple Axis tanks. And this is just super scary for the opponents, because there is nothing they can do to stop the wall of steel that is coming towards them. To like multiple Befell Panthers, Tiger E's that are 3-star veterancy, Königs Tiger, the lot. Just a massive wall rolling towards you, nothing you can do. Getting pretty damn scary now, and as you can see we're just bringing in more and more reinforcements, and here come the Jagdpanthers to help out. So you can see my SK-18 barrage coming in there, just going to be slamming the road to make sure that any reinforcements that come up are panicked and stunned. In the town I'm being hit by a lot of off-map. They're going to be a little bit wary of that. And over on this side, well, Cromwells are pushing me, and I don't have too much left to deal with tanks since my Flak 88s have been destroyed. So here comes Val with his Königs Tiger rolling over to the left side to try and give me a hand. But look at this train. The train of reinforcements coming up. There is a Königs Tiger in there. We got the Boyd to Sherman. We got a Panther A, Panzer IV. All sorts of stuff being brought up to reinforce as the wall of units from Betts and Rangaroo continue to attack move to the left side. You can see they've just selected them all, give them an attack move order to the left side. And you can tell that they've all just done it in once because they're all going to exactly the same location. Doesn't particularly matter, as you can see. One of the Befell Panthers is going to get taken out by a 76 Sherman there. But as soon as all of these Tigers roll around the corner and get multiple shots off at once, well, yeah, goodbye to the Achilles, goodbye to the 76 Sherman. Nothing really they can do there. Ju-88 is coming in from Rang just to get a quick bombing strike off. I'm going to be seeing myself bring up a Panzer III to accompany my Jagdpanthers and provide them with the extra command. Focke-Wulf 190s on the left side are going to catch on to the Tempest there. We're going to shoot that down. And, well, these SK-18s, they're hammering things hard now as we want to try and close this pocket. That is causing a little bit of an issue. We don't want anything to flank us from here. So, we want to close that best we can. And what Rangru is trying to do is just drive a wedge straight through and cut these guys off. Here comes Ju-88. That's going to come in with the two 25 HE power bombs. Also got another one there as well, and that's going to be followed up by a Ju-87, which is coming in with the AT cannons. So you can see it takes me a little while to decide where I want to put these Ju-88 bombs. I was originally going to go for the Sextons, but then I decided that might be a decent target for the Ju-87, so here comes the Ju-87. See how well it does. Take out one Sexton, take out two Sextons. And I'm doing this so that it relieves the pressure of the artillery onto Rangru and Betz' convoy on that far side. Focke-Wulf 190 coming in there to take out one of the Mustangs. Second one's going to get out alive since my Focke-Wulf was not in the right position, but here comes Ju-87 again. Kill off a third Sexton, fourth one survives, and I'm forced to get the Ju-87 out of there. So I think what I do is I bring it round and I target the 105, both 105s, and get those kills as well just before telling it to go home, because I had the extra ammo to do so. So just taking out those extra tanks allows Rangru to keep pushing. I've brought up my Jagdpanthers to join here, so they're going to be helping out on the far right side, while on the left, honestly, there's not too much here defending. I brought up a Pak 43 to try and fend off some of these tanks that are being thrown towards us, but in general, you know, it's pretty weak defense on the left side now. I've kind of abandoned this, invested points elsewhere. Of course, I have all of my SK-18s getting targets, and I've got the Jagdpanthers moving up with this armoured convoy. So here goes the Jagdpanther trying to get a shot onto the M4A 376mm. Up here, the amount of Panthers there are now is getting pretty damn crazy. These are the Panther A's, Befehl Panthers, Tiger E's, and Königs Tigers. There's now two Königs Tigers, Panther A's, and Tiger E's. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. This blob here is now cut off as well, so only a matter of time until that collapses. I'm trying to get this Jagdpanther into line of sight of these tanks, and finally I do. So you'll see my Jagdpanther take aim. Misses one shot. This Jagdpanther isn't going to miss though, as it wheels around the corner at point blank range. And I'm going to take out both of those 76 Shermans. So here comes another convoy, now bringing up the Panther A's. They're all charging together. And this is where total destruction gets completely disgusting. Because not only are we 70% in the lead in terms of territory, that 77% territory lead is also giving us an extra 240 requisition points per minute. Now, remember, I am playing this on very high income, But still, I'm now gaining 500 points per minute. Just doesn't seem right. It's absolutely crazy. But the iron wall is now moving from right to left. All these units are pretty much attack moves to the left side, as you can see. Going from spawn to spawn, crushing them as we go. SK-18s are still busy firing away. They're just harassing units that are trying to hide behind the tree lines there. Gonna shoot down the recon plane on the left side. And the reason I needed to do that was because the artillery is now coming in onto those positions. We've also got the Mosquito bombers coming in there as well. You can see that has taken my Pack 43 down to 3 health. So yeah, just sort of playing it quite lightly on this left side against the AI. Didn't need to put too much effort into defending that. All my points are coming to this major armoured push. Bringing up my Stugs here. These are pressing on, ready to join my Jagd Panthers as we continue. German 5s. You can bring in a lot of them, but they are no match for the Tigers, the Panthers, and the Königstiger. It's all looking doom and gloom for the enemy right now, and that's exactly it. Bringing up some supply for my SK-18s, because I want to get those on target and see how much damage I can do with them. But in general, they're mainly just there to sort of stun units that are hiding behind tree lines so that our team can continue to move forwards. Because if you're going round a tree line to engage units that are panicked, you're going to be in a lot better position than if you go around units that aren't, because they will just shoot you a lot quicker and be able to aim a lot quicker. But at the moment, you can see I've currently racked up 5,770 kills myself. Betsk has the 8,000 kills there as his wall continues to move across. So Spanker thought he's going to surrender, and I don't blame him, as this just got absolutely disgusting. Now, one thing I was wondering was why my opponent, Paul, set up the game and played allies, because, I mean, in a 60-minute total destruction game where you can basically bring in everything on your division, it's always going to end up in Axis favour, in my opinion, unless the Axis mess up that badly. But what ended up happening in this game actually was we'd bought everything we had on our divisions quite early on, or at least like 5 minutes ago, say, and now all of us were just saving points. So I think Betts at the end of the game had a surplus of about 5,000 requisition points. That is a lot of requisition points, and when you think about how many Panthers you can bring in on, for example, a Panzer Lehr division, that's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Because that's like another 10, 20 Panthers that you could have brought in. Obviously, if you had the availability, but still, it's not often you see big old groups of Panthers like this swarming across the map, taking out everything that gets in their way, and that poor half-track did not want to be there as it gets unleashed upon by all of that armour. See SK-18s coming in here, helping force all of these units to fall back, and that gives a lot safer passage for our tanks to move forwards and try and take out these units. So 84% of the map in our favour. You can see that a few units here and there have been left to secure the land spawns. But the wave is continuing, and I mean, let's just have a good look at this. It just looks absolutely mental. Look at the amount of armour that's coming. It's not just tanks, it's like half-tracks, AT guns, command carriers. We've even got a Brumbar back here. And there's also a Werframmen. It's just the whole lot coming towards the opponents here. Just absolutely mental. Look at it. It's actually pretty damn cool. Grossly unfair, but looks really cool. You can see even the Churchill Crocodile there isn't safe, as all of these tanks are getting pinned down and then taken out. And A is coming round from the left from Val, whilst we just push straight in from the right. And my SK-18s, they were just hammering those tanks the whole time and reducing their morale. On this left side, things have cooled down a little. The AI is not in a good place. It keeps trying to push up and gets taken out slowly but surely. But meanwhile, the players of this game are being taken out themselves, so yeah, not much else to do. Just gotta wait for their impending doom. Val's gonna unleash his wall of Nebelwerfers onto the opponents. Not even sure if that was hitting too much. Just poor Bren Group took the brunt of 6 Nebelwerfer 41s, and looks like they got out alive as well, so that's pretty impressive. Either way, let's go back to my point of view as we continue to roll on. Another tank going to be going down there. I'm slamming this truck with my mortars. They're still making moves where I can. SK-18s are a little bit idle at the moment, but job's pretty much done. I think I was more just focused on keeping up with my Stugs, as all of these units are pretty much just fast moving towards the enemy at this point. $27,000 points in our favour at the moment. And although this may have looked very fun and was actually quite fun to play, I don't think I'll ever really play Total Destruction again, mainly because it always seems that it would end up completely one-sided. Even in a lower income game, I still think Germany in a Total Destruction game, no matter how far behind they got, could probably come back. Because as soon as you get in one Panther and they struggle to kill it, by the time they've killed it, you've brought in another one, and and every single Panther starts to pay itself off really nicely. But here you can see we are pushing on really, really hard, and as soon as we hit 90% territory, that is the total victory condition. And after 40 minutes and 46 seconds, myself, Betts, Val and Rangru are victorious. And if we jump over to the team tab, well, you can see the kind of kills we got. It got pretty mental towards the end there. 6,745 kills for myself, for 3,205 losses, so just over a 2-to-1 kill death. But Betts with the 9,320 kills to 2,085 losses. So pretty damn insane. Panzer divisions on this game mode with that income, just completely dirty, but actually quite satisfying to watch. And hopefully it was for you guys too. Let's just have a look at some of these kills. Ju-87 there, you saw it pick off the M4A3 105s and the Sextons. Earlier on I'd shot up an M4A3, 2 M4A3s, a Jumbo and an M4A1 in one pass. So that was pretty damn crazy. Ju-88 getting a few kills here and there, but a lot of my kills were actually relatively spread out between all of my units. But I know that Val and Betts, a lot of their units, like the Panthers for example, had massive kill lists themselves. So either way, guys, that is a total destruction game. I can't say I'm going to be able to show you one of those again to you guys because I just don't play them very often, and as you can see, they are incredibly one-sided, so I'd just rather not. But in the meantime, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.